Hey everyone, welcome back to Break the Bread. It's Mainza. I'll be leading today's podcast. We have our usual Adam, Chiyang, Nancy, Jay, Christy, and we also have a special guest, Mr. Tony from Stockton. Hi, Tony.
What's up,
Hey,
guys?
Tony.
Hello.
Nice to have you join us for this podcast. We are doing episode 5. We've recorded 4 episodes now, so today's episode 5. So I decided to go with a lighter set of questions today, and I thought it'd be fun to just ask random questions and that lets listeners learn a little bit more about us and just like how we think and like, you know, just a little bit something more a little bit fun. We've had like great topics all over the last 4 episodes, so I'm really excited about today's episode. We can start off with the first question. The first question would be, would you rather have a fast forward, pause, or rewind button on your life? Explain why. So we have Adam. You can go.
To me, fast forward, definitely fast forward, because right now we all know 2020 is a little cray-cray, and yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that. Like, this year has been really rough, and like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm so like, I'm done with it. Like, but I know that it's not going to be done anytime soon, so definitely fast forward and just wanted to get done and be over this. So yeah, that's my
This is like a forever button, you know? You wanted to have a forever, like a fast forward button forever?
A forever fast forward.
I'm just throwing things at you.
And then so the question is, if this is a forever button, can we like press
I'm just throwing that at you because you chose fast forward for like this year, but you know, I'm just
Yep, I'll still take it.
okay, cool.
So you just fast forward to the happiness. Skip the hardship.
Just fast forward, be done with life, and go.
Hey, that's what I was gonna say, man. I just gotta fast forward all the hardship. I don't want to do this.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to agree with Adam too. I'm gonna say fast forward because, like, if you pick rewind, you're still gonna have to go through COVID-19 all over again, no matter what you do. And pause, you're just stuck. So I'm gonna have to go fast forward so you just get over through all the drama and all the sickness and whatnot.
Okay. Good answer.
For me, I thought about this question for a bit, and I think I would just want the pause button. Like in different circumstances, like definitely I think everyone kind of needs a moment to pause and breathe in every circumstance, like when something's tough. I don't think anyone likes going through tough stuff, but I think that's what builds character, and I think by the time you're out of that situation, you realize how much you did grow from that situation, and I wouldn't want to not go through it, you know what I mean, by fast forwarding. But I also thought about, like, I think the only reason why I would want a rewind button is like in the future, if say my parents are no longer here, I would just want to rewind to, you know, experience a memory again with my family, or just a really good memory, you know. And then I thought about all the circumstances, like definitely what Chiyang and Adam were saying, like I hate COVID, especially working in the hospital. We all just want it to be over with. So I would love to just fast forward, but I think I want to live in the moment and kind of experience the hardship that you have to go through in order to get to where you're at, you know. I mean, definitely just the small things. I'm like, oh, I'm so over this. Just fast forward. But then it kind of reminds me of the movie Click. You guys remember Adam Sandler's?
Adam
Yeah,
Sandler,
so
yeah.
yeah, so I think you can screw things up if you go to the past and the future. Of course everyone wants to know, who you're going to be married with, how many kids you're going to have and what your future looks like. But yeah, I think I would rather, what if there's so much pressure to not mess anything up in order to get that you kind of don't know how to live in the present when you go back to the present, you know what I mean? So I think I would just want a pause button, just for a breather, or maybe just to pause for a long time and then be like, oh, okay, gotta get back to normal life, and then just click and play or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, that was very good. I think I would choose the rewind button, just for me personally, because I know I'm an overthinker and like I always try to figure everything out with the situations, and sometimes you choose a path or like a decision that isn't best. So I would like to rewind it and do it over and maybe get a better scenario out of it. And then when everyone like Adam and Chang brought up the whole COVID thing, see with the rewind button, I can go back and prevent it or go to China and have them stop it or whatever they're doing.
Go back to China and be the one to catch it as well.
Yeah, it's tell them to stop eating
Bring it
bat
back to the
soups.
States. That's a
And
good
then
one.
I go, so I'll go back and save all that, and I'll stop Kobe Bryant from getting on that chopper, and
Oh, dude, that's hella sad.
and we'll all be good, and we'll be happy. So.
Watch, imagine you go back and stop, and then something worse comes out of it.
That's what happens in the movies. Yeah, a lot of the movies always like that. But,
Watch you
Yeah.
go with Kobe.
Shoot.
yeah, but that's just me because I've always been like intrigued of the ideas of like different timelines, like the Marvel movies, like Doctor Strange do. So I think it'd be cool to rewind and finally get the things right. Maybe actually get the girl this time.
I was about to say that, like, you know how that Doctor Strange lady was saying, well, if you alter this, it cuts there's a different timeline that you're gonna alter. Like, you're not afraid to alter the different reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so scary.
Go ahead, Tony.
I think for this one, I'm actually with Nancy on this one. I'd rather take a pause button. What is it? Recently, I was asked like a different question about this, and it was like, would you take $100 million or 2 extra hours every day? And I was just like, oh man, for me personally, I would take the 2 extra hours. I just feel like there's so much more you can do with I feel like time is so valuable just to go like wasting it with like fast forwarding through everything. I'm with Nancy on this one as well. Like they always say it's not the destination, but it's the journey.
Mm-hmm.
If you just go in and have all the happy moments, like, and never really have felt the hard work, and would you actually feel accomplished if someone just came up to you and was like, oh, you did so well, here's $100, or here's your promotion, you did so well, would you actually feel like, would you feel happy about it? And I feel like the other 2 buttons, just like the movie Click, if you guys seen it, it's so scary having that fast forward button, and imagine you just can't. What if you just fast forward so much, all of a sudden you're like 90 years old, literally about to die? What if you backtrack so much that you don't know how to use the remote anymore? So for me, it's definitely. Yeah, I would rather take the pause button. Then you can live your bittersweet moments as well. Like I'm not saying anything bad, but like let's say something happens to pass away. You get a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
Question: if we fast forward or we rewind, are we our present self going to the future, or when we go into the future, we have all the experience and we are that different change of character? We're just in the future. We don't even know that we use the button. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if I have all the experience and I could
Right.
just fast forward and be like, I'm over this, and then fast forward to like 2030, and like I'm not in my 2020 mind anymore. I'm 2030. Then maybe I would do that and just be stuck in the future. I don't know.
I think that would be more fun if it was like that. Instead of your present self going into the future, you're just fast forwarding so you can get over all the years and grow within the fast forwarding.
True, but that's cheating too. Okay, never mind. That's a broken rule. We're not gonna do that.
I don't know, all great points, but I think I would take the rewind. I don't know, and just like I guess there's just so many like special moments, you know, and I guess I just wouldn't mind going back and just reliving them. I don't know. I mean there are moments, of course, like you're not the proudest, but I don't know, like if we had the ability to like change it, maybe like the rewind button would work for me to go back and change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I said or what I don't know. Maybe life would have been a little different, but I wouldn't mind the rewind. I mean the pause button works too, but like where I'm at right now, I'm like I don't want to pause right now.
You don't want to pause this? Are you sure? Okay. You guys all have really good points, and you know, I thought of this question. Now I'm like backtracking and rethinking my answer because you guys brought up such good points. I was gonna say the rewind button, and but then to think about like rewinding back to all the times where I want to go back and fix in my life, or like for example score better on a test. Now that I think about it, I don't want to relive those moments because those were hard moments, you know, and like whatever happened, like you guys said. And you guys brought up some really good points about the pause button, because when I thought of this question, I didn't have an answer other than the rewind button. But good points on the pause button. I think with that being said, I would choose the fast forward button because I don't know. I would like to.
Dude, I'm over here laughing because you make it seem like you're gonna choose the rewind, and then you make it seem like you're gonna choose the present, and I don't know, choose the fast.
No, because you guys brought up really good points. I didn't even think about all of that. But then the fast forward button, I would choose that.
Just because, or
Well, because I don't know, just talking about like moving forward to where you want to be, like fast forwarding it to where you want to be and seeing how your life is at that moment.
So you just want to see your boo, like you just want to get there.
No. Okay. Get
You're gonna
it
miss
over with.
all the butterflies, all the feeling. Well, that's how he looks like, eh?
And then that's it. I can't rewind. That sucks. Okay.
I'm like, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't give much thought to that question either, like on my answer. But yeah. Okay. Good answers, guys. We will move on to the next one. Number 2. If you were given a choice to turn into a zombie or to die, which would you pick? Explain why. And then we were talking about this and we're saying we're doing the fast zombies, like from World War Z.
All right.
So,
Wow. I mean, to me, I would be a zombie, and I would rather be the zombie and chase after people and eat them and kill them and turn them into zombies.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, it's more fun that way because, I don't know, to be a special zombie and like a special type of breed and, you know, you have that special power, that's pretty cool, even when you're dead. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But if it was a slow zombie, would you still?
No.
Wait, no one
Okay,
no
never
one said
mind.
anything about special powers. We're not gonna have special powers.
Wait,
You
what
a
if
zombie?
No,
what
but I'm
if you were a
saying.
zombie without legs, though?
What if your legs blew up and you're just on your hands?
Your legless
Wait, what
zombie.
if you have no limbs at all? You're just a body and a head.
That's
Hey,
pretty
we
sad.
said fast running zombies, so
Yeah,
you
we
have
said
to
Okay.
fast. So.
Things happen in the zombie world. You never know.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna be honest. Zombie or dead, you're still dead. So I think I'd just be.
Might as well have some fun while you're at it, right? That's it.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys go before me?
Okay, so I have a question about this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you're a zombie, can you think for yourself, or can you like?
No, you
No,
you
you
lose
cannot.
recollection of yourself. You're like a lifeless, moving
But-
zombie.
You're a lifeless running zombie then?
Yes.
So what do you see then?
Nothing.
Like
You're-
are you
you're
still
technically-
there? Are you still there, but just with like a notion of just eating meat?
Nah, we
Like,
are
biting
talking
someone?
like you're not even yourself. You have no control over yourself and nothing. We
Use
Adam,
dead and use in heaven while watching your dead body.
Watching your
Yeah,
body
I-
get taken over by something else.
I am so afraid of zombies that every time I go to a restaurant and I use the restroom, I always have to decide if the bathrooms are zombie proof. And I know that restaurants have good bathrooms, but for me, I always think about this question because I contemplate, like, obviously, okay, I think too much into it. You guys know that if we commit suicide, you know, that's not good, and, you know, you probably ain't gonna go to heaven and all that other stuff, right? So I always think about if zombies were to come to me, would I kill myself, or would I rather have a zombie bite me and, like, I die and turn into a zombie? And I always think about it, and I think I might just have someone kill me because I don't want to experience the pain of getting bit and then like if you get bit in the arm, you slowly turn, and you ain't gonna turn right away if you get bit in the neck or something, you know.
But Nancy, what if there was like a swarm of zombie coming and then like just eat you? Like all of them are just coming and like devouring you apart.
Can you imagine feeling the pain of like them ripping your stomach open and you're getting bit everywhere? Like, I don't think I want to go through the pain. Like, if I could be like, hey, can you just bite my finger off? And they just bite it off and I turn into a zombie, we good. But they don't know and they're just hungry, you know? So I think I would rather die than be a zombie. Or if I can have the process of having the pain, it be painless and turn into a zombie and I don't even know, then I would probably do that. But y'all know how they say that the reason why zombies spread is because if your family turns into a zombie, a family member turns, the chances of you also turning is high because you can't kill your own family member. So I wouldn't want to put that on my family or friends. So I just think I would just kill myself or have someone shoot me in the head or something. Wow, that sounds really dark, but that's
You put a lot of thought process into this, so we
I
appreciate
do.
it.
I always, every time I'm alone, I think about zombies. I think about how I don't got cardio. Okay, the reason why I would like to work out and get fit is not even for my health. It's for zombies. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, Nancy, but what if like, so they're bitten already? You might as well just have them like shoot you before they turn.
Exactly. Or, you know, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I can't shoot you dead, so you shoot me. So when you turn into a zombie, I don't have to suffer through trying to kill you or whatever.
Nice. I think, yeah, kind of same with Nancy. I think I'd rather choose to die. I think, in the sense of since we don't have control of ourselves anymore, and we're not really there. I don't want to be the cause of death to anyone else, but even though like if I turn, I can't control that. But if I got bitten, I think I could take my own life, and I'll be okay with it.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
like, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna be like the guy from Train to Busan. I'm just gonna jump in on the horde after I get bitten and hope they tear me apart and die. Rather than turn. Well, he turned at the end of it. He turned into a zombie, but I mean, oh, that's so hard. Actually, would you? Oh man, do I want to commit
Okay.
suicide? Hmm.
To piggyback off of that, if you got bit and you said you're gonna jump off, would you be the distraction? Like, would you be like, okay, y'all run to the right, I'll run to the left since I'm gonna die anyway, so they can chase me?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sacrifice yourself? Yes.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I have a question about this. How come zombies are not attracted to other zombies? And they're only
Oh my
attracted
gosh,
to,
I
like,
had the
human
same
flesh?
thought.
Because
This whole entire time, I was thinking of
I think
what the
there's like a
process is.
certain
I don't think they smell flesh and blood, right? Like that's the reason
Like-
why they don't have fresh blood pumping through their body.
yeah,
kinda
it's
do
something
they-
to like, because they're cold, right? And we're all warm-blooded pretty much.
Mhm. Like, do they eat you until
I think
you
that's what
turn
makes
and
sense.
then they leave you alone? Or
Yeah,
like,
that's what
do
I
they
would
just
think.
bite you and then like leave? Because don't they eat human bodies? Interesting.
Yeah, I would figure they would eat anything that's like fresh. But you know, if you think about like rigor mortis, where when you die your body hardens up, you know, because you have no blood and everything pumping, I think zombies are fake because they would just be, you know.
Oh, you
I don't know.
say
Well,
that now. You say that
Considering the human
now.
anatomy, yes, I don't think it's possible.
And their jaws would break off when they bite you because skin is pretty tough, dude.
Hey, what if it's a grandma zombie and she ain't got no teeth?
Oh,
Ooh, that's
Ah.
gross.
Oh, why you slobbering over there? Ah.
Ew. You got
I
zombie
think they
slobber.
still got inhuman strength to pull you apart though, if they need to.
but you know Michonne from the what is it? The Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead.
Yeah, she was smart. She chopped off their arms and chopped off the bottom half of their jaw, so they can't even do anything. So I think I would do that
Wait, why
Yeah.
did she just kill him?
because I think it was her family members.
No,
So
Or
she-
wasn't it because it was like it kind of like what is it? Covered up her smell? as
Yeah,
a-
she used them as like camouflage.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that's smart.
Yeah.
Oh man, damn. She's trying too
That's
hard
cool.
to live now at that point.
Just die.
I mean, that's not as bad as when, what is it, Glenn? Is that his name? When he had it
Yeah.
smeared all over him.
Oh my gosh, don't talk about my boo Glenn. I didn't even watch him die. Oh my gosh.
All right. Christy?
Oh, I think I would just die. I think it's just too much work being a zombie.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't
No
even know,
kidding.
though. You wouldn't know
I
that
mean,
it's too much
like-
work.
I don't even run.
Turns out there's no zombie apocalypse. Christy just dies for no reason.
You
Yeah.
know why? It's too much work.
Like
Um,
you become a lazy zombie. You don't want to run. It's too much work to run.
I think
I
I
don't
would.
run when I'm alive.
That's why you have to become a zombie. That's why I wanted to become a zombie so that I actually do want to run. You know, I would run without knowing it. You know, to see if I can run. But no, yeah, good answer. I think I would do. I would probably. I don't want to become a zombie, but if it was between death or a zombie, I wouldn't mind wanting to experience
Being a
becoming
zombie.
a zombie. If it comes with like the fast running and yeah, you know, I've never experienced that in my life, so yeah. Okay, well that was a little gory, but you know, this was all for fun. Let's do question 3. Is there something out there? Okay, this is a more serious one. Is there something out there, a thought, an idea, a current event, or a fear that you find deeply unsettling?
Yeah, 2020. Like,
That's
you
way
know,
to put
plain
it.
and simple. But yeah, I mean, other than that, no. But I don't know. To elaborate on this, it's more about like 2020 really has taught us about what it means to be there for one another. It really taught us that, like, you know, even though we don't meet, you know, we're still meeting virtually. And people say, people call it social distancing, but there was a term that somebody used. It's more of a physical distancing because you're still talking to one another. That's still socializing,
Hmm.
and it really does teach us about how to be there for one another even when we're not there physically. So yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to say about this.
Do you think if everything that is happening in 2020, like not specifically everything, but like the coronavirus and everything, if it continued on to 2021, would your answers change to 2020 and 2021, or do you think it would just be 2020 specifically because of everything we've gone
I
through
think
so
it's
far?
just
'Cause
with 2020 with everything now with all the fires and I don't know if you guys heard there was storm coming in the Gulf of Mexico and everything and it's just all crazy right now. Like this world is just really crazy and every month something comes up. Like when you think about it, it's just been a really rough year because every month something just keeps popping out and you're just waiting for what's gonna happen next.
True. So just keep
Hmm.
waiting, guys. We have 4 months of 2020 left. Went by pretty fast, but it was really long.
It about
Yeah.
to be 3.
Oh yeah. August flew by.
But just to piggyback off Adam was saying though, do you guys feel like the media is just giving out bad news in general though, just because there's just so much going on?
I think so.
I was
I
thinking
think
that
in
too.
general, it's been like the media and social media in general has been like that for years, just because that's how they basically clickbait. I'm pretty sure you guys know what that means. It's how they get money. It's how they get views, and a lot of people kind of just fall for the news a lot too, even though a lot of it's kind of fake at the same time.
I do
Yeah.
think, I mean, with all this, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I was just gonna say, I think all these things are happening. I do think that the media is twisting it, and it's just they're exaggerating the story, or they're pinpointing, they're making you focus on things that is half true, you know?
Yeah, I think I spent I think a little bit less than a month off of Facebook, and I realized how happy my life was without Facebook because like what you guys are saying, the media, I think it picks and chooses what it wants its audience to read, and I think it also depends on what party you're on, like if you're more Republican or liberal or whatever. I also think that we don't have to know everything, and that's why life outside of Facebook and social media was so good, because I don't have to know all the little details, like I'm not gonna die if I don't know that this is happening, like in North Carolina, but I just feel like what you guys are saying, the media just, I don't know, it just kind of tears everyone apart because you kind of get you choose sides eventually, and I think that's what the goal is for them. I don't know, but it's just really bad. I think the media can suck it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was just saying that because I feel like just because we were on a quarantine and most everybody was relaying towards the news to get their information, that they were just able to report more bad news, and we were able to soak up that content a little bit more. I'm trying to say is did 2019 also have a lot of disasters that we did not know of,
Hmm.
It's just that we weren't paying as much attention in 2019 to all these disasters because we had the opportunity to do other things, while in
Yeah.
2020 we're stuck at home and everybody's just looking on the news to see what's going on, and now we're just getting hit left and right, every month something bad. Maybe in 2019 every month something bad did happen. It's just that we weren't as informed because we weren't looking at that.
Yeah, makes
Cool.
sense.
Because for me, like current events and stuff, I don't really think too much into it, and I don't make myself oh, I'm so scared, I can't do anything. It's I don't know. This question didn't really make me think too much because I don't really think about trying to fear this and that, or it makes me deeply unsettled.
Okay,
I don't really have anything for it.
that's cool.
Cool.
Um,
I think for me, um, recently, I mean, everyone knows about these topics, but the whole Epstein,
oh my
um,
gosh, yes.
yeah,
Mm.
sex trafficking, his girlfriend getting caught, Epstein didn't kill himself, and all those things. Like, you always think it's conspiracies, the Pizzagate thing, and just the higher power and the white man and whatever. What is it? Them going to a certain island and just sexual assault and all that stuff. I just think it's so creepy, so sad. And there's that child actor, forgot his name, but he always came out with being sexually assaulted, and no one believed him. Everyone thought he was crazy, and now he, one of the other guys, I think he killed himself. But then now this guy, everyone just thinks he's crazy. Like his name never got cleared because all these people are coming out. So I just think it's sad. I think it's crazy. I think I think human trafficking is so scary. I'm like afraid to go out alone, but like at the same time I still go out alone, because I don't know. But I think that's unsettling. That and aliens and Tupac being dead. That's all.
He ain't dead. He's in Jamaica.
That's like 3.
That girl belongs to the streets.
But yeah, I think that Epstein's girlfriend, she's gonna end up dead because all the hired people are gonna kill her somehow, the way they killed Epstein. Okay, I'll stop. That's all.
Conspiracy theories.
I think for me, like I think just like everyone said, like, with everything going on, I think it just kind of made me more aware of not fear, but just aware of like your surroundings a little bit more and who's your inner circle, and just to kind of like be more safer. Like the whole like Black Lives movement, and just seeing more like people come up with like the whole white supremacists and like backing it up more. I think it's just a little scary. Like the other day, I saw this video from one of this retired basketball player named Charles Barkley. Like he was one of the Hall of Famers, and
The
he
singer.
sat down.
Oh,
But
never
he's
mind. It's Gnarls Barkley.
yeah, no, he was retired Hall of Famer basketball player, and he sat down with one of the white supremacist figurehead, Richard Spencer, and like they were just like having, because he just wanted to pick his brain and talk to see like why this guy didn't like him just because of his color of his skin. And like watching that video, it was kind of shocking because you could hear what Richard Spencer was saying, and like he was just kind of saying like how he was sad that America was becoming more diverse and it's becoming like less white, and he's sad that his children's gonna have to grow up in this kind of world, and his grandkids gonna be like, they're gonna have less white privilege and such. And like just hearing that stuff, how like, because like there's actually people who also think like that, so it's very
Yeah.
disheartening to hear that stuff, and it's like
Can
it
you
makes
link
you
us to
scared.
that video?
Yes,
That's
I'll send you guys a
interesting.
link to that. And so like
That's
just
crazy.
watching that, and then you see like all these different posts with like the shootings, and people, you read the comments how people are like arguing like, oh, like that black guy was the victim, he wasn't the victim, he was the criminal and stuff. Like there's just so much hate, and like it's just scary what's going on in the world. And like bringing that to my workplace, working at Disney World, like I have to deal with guests now want to wear like face masks and stuff, and when they always get angry, they use the whole like their freedom, and they're America's a freedom state, and they don't need to listen to us and stuff. And you just never know what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Like I was telling the group earlier, like just recently at Disney World at my place at Epcot, we had a coworker, a cast member who got punched by guests because the security guard tried to force him to wear a mask, and the guy didn't want to wear a mask, so he ended up hitting him. And like stuff like that's a little crazy. And
Why are people so
guess-
crazy?
yeah, I guess like it just makes me like more aware of my reactions and how I respond to people now. Because like even like I know Disney is a very diverse place and they support like people of color and minorities, but like now like I think I'm aware of my coworkers, like how I talk to them and how they respond to me, just in case if they're like low key are racist or they're low key just only
Do you
liking me
feel like
because they have to.
do you feel like in Florida have you experienced like racism and or just people being mean because you're Asian? Obviously that's racism. But then have you experienced racism compared to like Oregon or Cali or the Midwest?
Most definitely more over here than I lived in Oregon or been in Cali, but I don't know if it could be just because of all the situation that's happening. Because I know like
So
maybe
you
back
have
then, like
experience?
over here, yeah, like
Oh, that's so
it's
sad.
you can kind of tell like when I'm working, I'm dealing with a guest and how like I talk to them or I try to like reach out to them or I'm just doing my job to like fix their seatbelts. Just the way they kind of look at me or how they respond to me, you kind of sense they're like, I don't know, because I'm Asian, so I might have the coronavirus or something, but like just how people
Mhm.
are responding. So you kind of feel a
Okay, but
little
you're the
bit.
one not wearing a mask talking about I
Hmm.
might have coronavirus because I'm Asian.
So I think just with everything going on, it's made me definitely aware of my surrounding more and just like be watchful like who your inner circle is, because this person might be, you might think he's your friend, but he could be setting you up for something.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
agree, and I think with the so much tension going on, and especially politics, you start to see. I feel like you start to see people's true colors. I don't know.
Mm.
That's
Man, you guys said so much. I don't even have anything to say about it. I'm definitely there with you guys about like the whole racism. I don't actually pay too much attention to the media just because of how bad it could be. So I actually haven't read much articles or current events on things. But I do know that racism is getting worse. During this whole like
Mhm.
COVID thing, I actually didn't even make a single trip to like I don't want to put like a color by it, but like a white grocery store or just a grocery store that's more, I guess you could say like mm, that I could happen to run into. Not trying to be racist, but just like other race. So I actually just went to Asian supermarkets just because I know I'm not gonna get hate on if I ever go into an Asian market because it's full of Asians, and so
Mm.
um, because I don't want to be like I don't want to get hit with racism. I think that's like
Mm.
really really bad like feeling, and I don't know how I would react to it, but I feel like I might just punch the person. But
Just cough at them.
hey,
That's the new
hey,
thing.
hey, at the at the beginning of COVID, I kept making a joke though, because I did happen to go to Walmart right at the very beginning, and I was just like, I walked in, I got into an aisle, and I was like, I'm just so tempted to just cough and see what happens. Like, do people just start running, or? But then it's a sensitive thing, so you don't really want to do that because then, for all you know, you could
Yeah.
get beat up. So, but I'm
But yeah.
definitely there with you guys on the whole racism part. It's scary, man. It's a scary world out there, knowing that color still matters so much.
Yeah. I think it's
Asian grocery. Sorry.
no, I was just
I was
gonna piggyback off of I was just gonna say that it's funny how we don't think about it, but like when this whole COVID thing started, like at the back of my head, I mean, I wasn't like I don't think I was scared or anything, but there were moments when I didn't want to cough in the store, and it's like
Mm.
things like that it makes you realize like, oh wow, like we do have a fear of going out now because we don't want to bring any attention to ourselves, or make people think that we have COVID or something. But I think the media does really feed into that. And not just that, but people are a little wild and they do react to things like that, and it's crazy how like we have like that thought in our mind without even knowing it until later. You were saying, Nancy?
Oh, I was gonna say, y'all know how I had a cough. Oh, I still have a cough. I've been coughing for like 5 years, 6 years. So every time we go out, my mom gets on my case because I have to like cough and clear my throat, and she's always scared that I'm gonna, attract attention. And I'm like, since when was it illegal to cough? Because I've been having this. I guess I've been having COVID for like 5 years. I just think it's so sad that any little thing can trigger anyone nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah, I always
Regular.
throw the whole. You've had that cough for 7 years, so it's not COVID. So we're good. We're good.
All right. Yeah, like you guys have said a lot already. I like again agree with all you guys are saying. I guess like just the whole social media thing, how the media can kind of like play such a big role in everything. Like I think especially with like elections coming up too, I just feel like it's just been so
Oh
like
my
I
gosh,
guess
yes.
I guess I never really paid attention to like the political world until like this year. Like
Yeah.
for some odd reason, and I guess it's just a little like unsettling how like we could be so like our relationships with like anybody can like political like I don't sorry I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but like how like politics can play such a big part in our relationships
Mhm.
too. Like I
Yeah.
can't even like bring up I don't know anything political or it's gonna offend somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just due to like elections coming up because I feel like I don't know 4 years ago we didn't come across all this. And I feel like with coronavirus, like it can turn like political like in a couple seconds. It's just so weird. Yeah. I don't know. It's just been crazy.
I do think as soon as elections just goes away and it gets over with, I do think we're going to see less of coronavirus. We're going to see less of everything that the government. I do feel like they're milking the situation though. Like
Yeah.
they're like we're quarantined longer than we need to be. This virus is somehow still here and everyone else in the world is okay and it's just the United States. I mean, we are very stubborn people like Justin's Disney World mask situation. Like that's just an example of how entitled everyone is. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the government is also milking the situation, and I think a part of it is true, but I also think that they're milking the situation, and I think that's stupid.
Right, and like with like Black Lives Matter, like oh it's the Democrats with Black Lives Matter, and then the Republicans are not. Like I don't even know how that even got that way. Like everything just turns political, and yeah, that's just been unsettling. I try not to like get my like wrap around my head around that too much, but of course like you see it everywhere on Facebook and it's just like okay you can't really hide from it. So,
Yeah. I don't like you guys all said, social media definitely plays a big part in our information that we get, or like what we pay attention to. But I think one thing that it's like very unsettling for me, and I don't know why I pay attention to it or think about it, but it's a whole human trafficking, Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, I think yeah, it's just like I think it's been going on for years and decades and ages, but for it to all be exposed now, and I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be paying attention to it, but it's hard not to and it's unsettling because this is dealing with like little kids' lives, and for it to just like have such a, I don't know, like it's just crazy now that you hear like it sucks that this has been going on for years and years, but the cases of like kids going missing like one after another, and I feel like, and I heard like a while back from somewhere saying that it's happening a lot now because a lot of the sex rings are being torn down and they're being discovered, and they're all getting arrested, and now it's harder for them to I guess get kids, and that's why it's happening so much more out in the public, and it's just so scary. And just I don't know, with this whole like, I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I think this is really happening, but like I feel like we don't really know what's going on behind closed doors, like in prisons. Like we were just talking and we were saying like, what if Epstein isn't even dead and it's just all a hoax?
No, he did.
What if he's out there because he paid the guards off and like he ran off to his island again and he's not gonna get caught. You know, it's like
Nah, I think he's dead. The rich people, if he was gonna expose the rich people for being the sexual predators they are, they're gonna off him. So I think he's dead. I think his girlfriend's about to be dead.
yeah.
But my man Tupac is alive.
Well, Tupac was just at a wedding the other day. If you didn't see on Facebook,
Right? He was performing.
No, but I mean, I feel like I should be focusing my time and effort and just looking at other things that are more positive. But you know, it's like curiosity gets you, and you look into it, and then you dig deeper, and you're like, oh my gosh, you find out all these things that can possibly be true, and it
Yeah.
makes me like uncomfortable knowing that 2020 is the year for all of that to be exposed, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel
And
like it's probably a tactic too for the elections. Like, I don't know, they're probably trying to distract us or something, but I don't know, man. Their moves are pretty strong right now with everything that's going on.
And that and like the whole military thing, like how there's people are going missing, you know, just things like that, and they find dead bodies. I'm like, how is this all happening and no one knows, you know? Like maybe like you said, like everything, this has all been happening, it's just word is barely getting out, but it's so sad. I don't know, it's just a crazy world. Sometimes I'm glad that we're nobodies, but at the same time the people that have gotten sex trafficked were nobodies as well, you know? So
Yeah, and I also think it's probably like a domino effect. You know, one person speaks up, and then that encourages more people to speak up, and that's probably why like all of this is happening now. You know.
Scary thing about that too is with the whole Me Too movement, I think people ruin it for the true victims because they take every little thing and they make it sexual assault, and I think that ruins, you belittle people who actually have experiences, you know what I mean? Like you making stuff up in your head just because out of spite, you know? I don't know, there's just so many things that people, that's serious, and people twist it to make it fit their agenda, and it's just like you ruin it for people. I don't know.
No, I feel you. Anybody else has anything to say?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I did one more
Alright.
thing. Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
One more thing. The Pentagon. Okay, I was listening to
What
Joe
happened to
Rogan.
the Pentagon?
No, Joe Rogan's podcast. They were talking about how the Pentagon released a statement saying that they found like some kind of vehicle that wasn't made in the freaking like on Earth. Like it was an outside made vehicle or you know, airplane or whatever, UFO. And I'm just saying they just casually threw that out there while all this is happening, so it got like brushed under the rug. Okay, that's all. I'm saying there's aliens, there's everything, man.
So what I get from all of this is that Nancy believes that her husband is an alien.
An alien
A
that's
young-
disguised as Tupac.
And he's young. He ain't born yet.
Okay, so we can move on to the next question. I don't know. Hopefully, okay. Let's move on to the next question. Do you think that men are more rational and women are more emotional? Why?
She just had to bring up sex, genders, and everything. Guys. She had to.
Right.
Sorry.
In my opinion, no, men are not more rational. I think men are more, you know, we have this, I'm just speaking of like just men itself. We have this way of like having to show our manhood, and it's not about being rational or anything. Like there are times where we do get very emotional, and like we just don't know how to share those feelings. We don't know how to express them. We don't know how to like, you know, just show them. But yeah, and for women, like there are some women that I know that are like are the same as men too. They don't know how to express their emotional, and like they're very manly compared to the man that they're with. And when it comes to this question, do you think men are more rational? No, they are not. They grew up as like, oh, men shouldn't cry, men shouldn't show emotional, men like, and like it becomes this thing of where it's like it's how the world is gonna see you compared to like, how would you express that to the world, or how would you express that to the woman that you're with? Like it's just a comparison of like, we just don't know how to show our emotions, and when we do, it's like it's weird for people to see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. Jane?
I don't really got much more to say because Adam kind of covered what I was saying. But besides, I think in today's world, in today's generation, I think men and women, they're about the same for rationality and emotional, whatever emotional things that they're feeling. Just seeing from like social media and YouTube in general, like there's literally no difference for me for what I see. Like people acting up because, oh, I feel this way, that way, and whatnot, and rationality is gone. And sometimes you do see some rational stuff that they do.
Man, I always feel like I have so much to say. I'm sorry. So I do think that women are more emotional. I don't know if that's because I'm a woman, and I don't know if that's because the guys don't want to offend anyone, so they don't say this. But I do think women are more emotional, but I don't think that means that we are less rational. I think because we're emotional, we think about like how they have that example of you're a browser and you have like 20 different windows up. I think that's also what kind of makes us rational, because we think about the many different things that can lead to like an end goal, whereas men, I feel like they're more tunnel visioned, and they don't, this isn't for every circumstance, but I think men are more tunnel visioned, and that's probably what kind of, I guess, supports the fact that they kind of are rational. They just get to the point. They don't have side emotions because they don't think about the little things that you have to do to attain the end goal, whereas the women think about all the many details that you have to do to get to the end goal. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think women are emotional. I think men can get emotional, but like what Adam and them were saying, they don't express these emotions. So, and they're emotional in a like they compartmentalize, if that's the word, their emotions, and they kind of just keep it going, whereas women get distracted. So I think that's my answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I think everyone's brought up pretty good points. I think it doesn't fall to any stereotypes of like one sex is more rational or emotional than the other. I think for me, I think everyone kind of goes through at different points. And I think for guys, it's just early on as growing up, we're just taught to be, like Adam said, like we're taught to be more manly and social emotions. I think later in life, for guys, for us growing up, we learn to be more emotional down the road. And girls, I think they start off more emotional because they feel just as how they are to express themselves. And as they grow up, they become more rational. And so I think like it goes both ways, where people just grow up differently. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, but
Cool.
I have to agree with you guys on that one too. I feel like I feel like it's just the way we were trained, like guys are just more trained to hold back on their emotions, and girls are just more, trained to let their emotions run at a younger age. And as you just grow a little older, you run into people who like the opposite sex, who are like Adam said, I know some women who are actually more logical thinkers, and I know more guys who are super emotional. Sometimes we label them kind of wrong, but I think it's just more of like what the person has just been trained with. If society just makes it so hard for you to be a certain way, and
Mhm.
I think as you age, you just don't care anymore about how society sees you, and
Yeah.
you're able to just become yourself more. And I feel like with that, everyone is almost the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that too. I think I've seen like enough like of both sides, both genders too, where whether it's rational or emotional, but I think it really depends on how you grew up, where you live too, because I don't know, I think about like some of like the kids or like the boys and girls that are still in Laos, like Hmong folks, right? Like Hmong kids that are still in Laos. Like some of them are probably still brought up in a way where like the guys, can't like talk well because like, you're that's not manly or whatnot. So I think it really depends on where like the society that you're into.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think because where we live, like in America, I mean, just thinking about like, I don't know, sometimes I compare myself with my mom, like how they grew up. It's a totally different era. And
Mhm.
then, now, like, us girls, we are way more outspoken. Yeah, that's just an example.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree with your guys' answers. I think it definitely it depends on how you were raised. Some people are raised to like some men are raised to be okay with their being emotional or just tuning in with that side of them, and I think a lot of the times women are um I think it's just natural for women to be emotional, and I'm not saying that like in a negative way at all. I think it's just natural for us to be that way. I mean, it's because it kind of like adds on with us also being like nurturing too. Like it just comes naturally, and I'm not saying like men aren't emotional or nurturing at all either. I think there's a mix in both, but I feel like there is a generalization of like women can get more emotional, and men tend to be more of like the thinkers, and they can just like Nancy said, they're tunnel visioned. And I think all of this, they're not like bad qualities at all either. There is definitely like a mixture though. Like I think women can be more rational than emotional. Just depends on how you were raised and like how your household like how you were taught. Cool. Thank you
Yeah,
guys for your answers.
yeah. Why'd you pick this question? I'm just
Um,
curious.
honestly, it was just I just chose like random questions that will get us talking, and this was just one of the questions that I chose. There was really no like intent behind it. I just wanted to know like what you guys thought about it, and like it wasn't to like, hopefully it wasn't to like rat you guys out and make you guys think like, oh, now you think like that of us. It's not like that at all, because I hope like you guys didn't feel like that in the beginning, because I was like, oh man, are they giving us these
No.
answers because of they don't want to hurt our feelings? Because no, I really do think like women can get emotional, and they do. I feel like majority of the time they do act out because they are more emotional. Yeah. Okay, next question. Out of the negative emotions of greed, anger, jealousy, and hate, which one would you say affects you most, and why?
By effect, what do you mean by that? Like, can you elaborate on that?
Like,
Like,
out of these four emotions, which one do you feel most of the time? Or like, which one gets to you? Like,
Which do you struggle the most with?
yeah.
Which one?
Okay, because I like, I okay, that kind of changed my view of what I was gonna say. Can you guys come back to me?
Yeah.
Because like
Yang?
I thought I thought
Uh-huh.
about something else. Like I mean,
Okay.
so the question pretty much means like, what do we feel out of the four, right?
No, it's like which do you struggle the most with? Like say you don't have issues with anger and jealousy, but you know that you struggle with greed because you can be a greedy person. Just things like that, for example.
What if we don't struggle with any?
That's cool.
Then that's fine. You telling me that you have no struggles with any of these.
That's a lie.
Not really, because well, like with me, like I'm not greedy. I'm like, I'm a really selfless person. I like.
Then you know what? Just Venmo me $100 right now, please.
Ah,
Thank you. You know what? $20. I'm not even gonna ask for a lot. I'm not greedy, so 20 is fine.
I get paid tonight, so and my life right now, I'm not really angry where I'm at. Like it's really stable. I'm not really jealous because I have a great job, and yeah, I don't hate, so I don't know. Like
okay.
All right, Angel Adam.
it's not really that. It's like
well, which one do you feel that's more prominent when you look at the four words? Like which one strikes you more? You know?
Okay, that makes more sense. I would say hate because I hate my job. Like
He said you like
That
your
brings out a lot
job.
of hate in you.
Hey, this guy has a lot of spite, dude.
Like I said, tunnel vision, guys. I'm
no,
just
but
kidding.
like yeah, honestly, like I don't have any of these or emotions towards my life right now, or just me alone. Like it doesn't affect me.
Cool.
I don't know. That's me. Like that's just because my life is, like I said, it's really stable. It's great. It's
Yeah, your life is great. Oh man.
Man, in 2020, your life is great, man.
Hey, dang, you're doing something right.
Cool, Chiying.
I mean, it's not affecting me as bad as it used to. It's just more of it's a used to thing and be thing. But I used to be like very angry all the time because I had to deal with a lot of like you guys know how Hmong parents are, where they're like, oh, you have to do it this way because you're Hmong, or they're comparing you to other family members all the time.
Yeah.
And it used to make me pissed off all the time when I was back in like middle school, high school years. So that's the only, but that's the only thing. But as of right now, I can't say it affects me much. I'm kind of more of a calmer person now.
Cool.
That's good.
I think I would say the same. Probably because I don't feel like I'm a greedy person. I don't feel like I'm a jealous person. I mean, I don't think I've been in situations where there's jealousy. I think if I can choose any of them, it would probably be anger. I feel like I have a foul mouth. I have road rage. I have just many things that I can help myself, but I think I choose to give in to the anger. So I would say probably that.
Man, I honestly think all of them affect me pretty well. I think growing up, you kind of go through different stages where you deal with each of the negative emotions. 'Cause I know, like growing up, I was a pretty angry kid, and I don't know. I think I can still say that I'm still greedy. I mean, that's why I work so hard, because you want more money, because you want a good life. And so I honestly do believe that every emotion still affects me, but we'll say that the one that probably affects me the most is jealousy. um I know that growing up I've always been jealous of other things that people have, but not a sense of like as in like material stuff. But I was always jealous of like people's height. Like I wish I was like 6'4", 6'5", or I was jealous of people's looks. I wanted to be that Korean looking dude. I want to be Taeyang or G Dragon or whatever. But but you're jealous for. I've always been jealous of that look because like I never, I guess, love and appreciate myself of who I was, and I wanted to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Out of the three, the only one that I feel like I can see myself relate of the four actually. Well, if there's a fifth one and it was like complaining, that's probably like my strongest emotion. Because I just complain. But
Oh,
I
yo,
feel like
Crystal.
I feel like the one that hits the closest one to complaining would be anger. Just because it's not even that I hate the things that happen. I just more be like, I don't know. I would say anger. I'm not even an angry person. Though. Like if anybody knows me, like I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty chill, relaxed. But I mean I don't greed too much. I don't get jealous, and I don't think I've ever. I don't want to say ever, but rarely have ever said that said the word hate and actually meant it towards like a person. I think it just takes too much effort to hate someone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of like emotions to hate someone. Like you're so drained. You're like, like
Yeah.
it's not really about hating. It gets, I guess, like the word hate. It gets to the point where you just don't feel anything for them anymore. Like you just don't have the respect for them anymore. That
Well,
like they just mean nothing in your life.
From
And
the little that I've seen for Tony, I feel like you're not afraid to kind of voice your opinion. So maybe that's also why you don't struggle with anger, because you don't like keep it all in, I feel like you're not afraid to speak your mind. So maybe that's one reason why you don't really struggle with like pent up anger or something.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right though. I do speak my mind. I don't have anywhere to base it off of just besides like work, but everyone's like, dude, they'd be like, I know you don't like me right now because you always just voice your opinion when I do something wrong. And I'm just like, well, at least you know it. I mean, hey, don't get it wrong. I like you as a person. I just feel like I like you as a person, but right now working with you is very hard.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I guess it's like straightforward. But go ahead, Christy.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say the same.
Oh, I thought this was Ka for a moment. The way you said sorry. Sorry.
I was just gonna say like anger. Yeah, the same as you all too. I do bottle a lot in, and I think like with anger, I think it just comes with a lot of like pain and frustration. And like, and I think it affects me like the most because it takes a toll on me like so much, like mentally, spiritually, and like physically too. Like I could feel like my body aching. Yeah, I think that one takes like the most toll on me. I mean, and so I try not to get angry as much just because like of that, like okay, I've definitely learned how to like manage it, but I think of all of like the negative emotions, that one would be the one that I struggle with the most.
I think out of these four, I think greed and hate. I don't really. I personally feel like I don't really feel greedy. Most of the time, like, and then, like you guys said, it takes a lot of effort to hate someone, and I don't. I think most of the time it's frustrations, but it's not necessarily hate, because I feel like that's a very strong word. I think for me, jealousy would probably be most.
Really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think. Well, I think it's just it stems from like being insecure and wanting things and image wise and always wanting to wear certain things or look a certain way. And I mean, I think that just it deals with my insecurities. Just because I know I'm a bigger girl and it's harder for me to look a certain way or look how I want. And I think that would probably be the thing that affects me most. And it's not necessarily like I can't believe I don't have what they have. It's just more like I wish I looked or I wish I looked a certain way, or like Jay said, it's more about like image and that insecurity of me.
Yeah.
I feel like I get angry too, but I don't. I think that's kind of normal to have anger. But like, I mean, if it's extreme, I don't have that. Yeah.
I have a question. Is it angry because you're stress and frustration, or is it just like it just comes out, or like
It can be anything. It doesn't have to be specific to like anyone else's or like only specific. Like it only counts as angry if you're angry at like a person. I think it could be anything, any situation.
Mhm.
What if it's an angry hate?
Mhm.
I guess you
That's a
have
little-
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like with this question, I think it just goes to show that we all have our own struggles, and we all struggle with something that is negative, and it's normal to feel that way. I don't think it's not normal. Yeah. Any questions? Comments?
Yes,
Um,
Adam. It's not normal, okay?
No, and all these things might have affected you, and it's just like right now you just probably can't recall, or like you don't think it's like a big deal, which is fine, All right,
Maybe it's
last
like a situation.
yeah. But last question of the night. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't read. If you were a passenger in your own car, give yourself a review.
Like ratings review, like one
Yeah,
out
or
of
like-
10.
or like
Are you a terrible
5
driver?
stars.
You're like a race car driver, like
out
what
of
do you
10.
5 out of 10.
I give myself. I give myself a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
He said he's a great driver.
What if we were in the car with you before?
I've never been in a car with you, so I can't say. Is this true, Tony?
Nah, man, he like a 2.
Tony, you're two. I don't know what you're talking about now.
Barely making. I'm surprised he got a license.
Adam, you gotta back yourself up.
I'm joking, Adam. I'm joking. I think I've only been in the car with Adam like once. And that was like when he was new too.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
10 out of 10. Nice. Okay.
I mean, the reason being is because I don't rush. I mean, like it's scary when you rush. Like I rushed one time. I was going it was only one time I was going 100 because I was late for work, and I still made it in time. And so that was just it. But other than that, yeah, I don't rush. I still, I'm a safe driver, but it comes down to just knowing what you're doing. Because yeah. I mean, if I have because when I drive, my life is on the line for myself, not for anybody else. Well, if I do crash, it's for someone else.
You don't care for the other.
I told you I was a 2. I said 2. It might be a
As long
1
as he
now.
makes it.
But yeah, like I say I give myself a good rating because yeah.
You know what's funny? I was about to ask you because you say you drive safe, right? You don't rush. I was gonna ask you, are you just one of those people who are really good with time management? So like you go to work early, or are you one of those people who's like, I'm late, who cares?
No, I go to work early because there's hella traffic on my way to work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I just
So I don't have enough driving experience yet to really vote on myself, because like I got my permit and stuff, right? And I was gonna get my license this year, but you guys know COVID happened, so the DMV was like, "Hey, sorry, but we ain't gonna have anybody yet, so you're gonna have to wait." And so I've been on like basically going on their website saying, "Can I do it now?" Pretty much.
Oh dang.
Yeah. So I'm kind of just
Are
So
they
I-
opening it back up for people?
Not really, because California just went to another lockdown, so they don't even know when they're gonna open
When?
signups back up.
When did we go
What?
into another lockdown?
Like a couple,
Good.
Oh, God.
yeah, like a couple weeks ago, we went to another lockdown.
yeah.
I don't think we
you
went
mean
lockdown,
the-
but I think we just turned phase 3 back. I think we're on
Oh.
phase 2 still, but
Oh,
I
I was gonna say, my gosh, I've been out.
I believe we're supposed to open back up on like October 1st or something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Another
I need to
month.
go and pay for my tag.
Halloween.
It's due September 9th. Like,
Yeah, you can do it online, my guy.
and then they'll send it to you. Okay.
Yeah, they send it to the mail.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not a 10. I have road rage.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah, people drive slow. I don't like traveling on the 99, so I think that's what probably built up my road rage. And now in general, I'm really bad with slow drivers. But I do love to use my turn signal, so I think that bumps up my score.
To a 10?
I don't know.
Like most people.
I feel like I'm a pretty safe driver unless someone gets on my nerves and I have to like be annoying and cut them off or something. But I don't know, maybe I would give myself, like, if we're doing like out of 10, gosh, I don't want to like overhype myself. I think I'm like a 7 or 8. On my good days, I think I'm like an 8.5, 9. But like on my bad days, like my road rage days, I think I'm a 7. And then I realized that people are also in the car with me. Then I tried to be better. But mine has not died so far, so I would.
All right, so mine's what is Nancy's score?
Oh, yeah,
You know-
actually, what would you score me? And you know, you
think
can be simple.
I can vouch for 7 or 8 because
Wow.
I think you are a confident driver. And like just I don't know, being able to like you I think you're pretty good at driving. I trust my life in your hands when you're driving.
When I'm going like 95, you feel safe.
I'm not like I'm not fazed by that. I think you're a pretty good driver. Even with your road
Believes in
rage,
you.
like yeah, I'm not even like kidding. Like you're pretty good.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, and like how you stopped before that car hit us, that was pretty good too.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy, guys. So I was driving
Like that
Liza
wasn't her
home.
fault.
Yeah, I was driving mine to home, and I was just like, you know, when you're going and it's a red light, so you switch lanes so you're not behind a car, and then it turns green, so you don't even stop all the way. So I accelerated, and this car on my left was continuing to go, and usually, like, I don't really care. Usually I'll be like, you know what, if you want to hit me, I'm not the one in the wrong. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to let someone hit me. But then I was just like, man, this car is not stopping, and I literally had to, like, stop because this dude was crazy. And he looked at me too. I was just like, man, we was
Yeah,
about
and
to die.
His light was like red for a good while already. So yeah, that was pretty scary. But yeah, you're a pretty good driver.
Thanks. Not when I drive 90.
Question: What's your guys' speed limit that you guys always drive?
Well,
They're in Cali, bro. It's like. Well, Nancy just said 95, so.
no, I usually the most I'll drive is like 85 is like pushing the limit for me. I mean, there was a moment I think when we were traveling and I was just like, man, this guy's driving really slow. And Miles and I look at my speedometer, I'm like going 90. I'm like, oh shoot. So I slow down. Yeah.
No
I don't
wonder
know.
why
I
you're so
would say,
slow.
yeah, I would say 75 to 85 is like I try to stay within that range. But I don't like to go any higher than that. But kids, if you're listening, you should drive the speed limit.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, Jay, what's your review?
I mean, I'm still alive, so I mean, I can't be that bad. But I don't. I do have bad habits. Like I said, like I do speed a lot. And then I've been trying to work on it, but I have a bad habit of texting and driving at like stoplights, and so I've learned to put like that sleep mode on a little bit more, or to try to ignore texts. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten like 3 speeding tickets, and so
Oh, God.
Wow.
and so yeah. I mean,
Dude, how much are speeding tickets? I've never gotten one. Are they expensive?
they're like,
Yeah.
They're probably
Like,
like
I pay,
200-300.
yeah.
Do you get scared when you see the lights? Oh my
Well,
gosh, this is scary.
my speeding tickets were from we have like in Oregon we had like the radar vans, like the speed
Oh,
van. So that's what I've been hit by.
So they
which-
just send it to you in the mail?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
oh, what the heck?
I heard
So,
you
like-
could just say that you weren't the one driving.
You could,
Is there a picture?
picture.
Did they take a picture?
because they only get a picture of your license plate, and then they mark how it
Oh,
would be. But I mean, I wasn't going that fast with a speed limit. It's probably like 5 or 7 above, and you take a picture of you to go over their the recommended speed limit. So, but on a normal day, like when I go to work, I do drive around 70 to 80 on average. So,
how far is your job from where you live?
like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
not
wow.
bad.
You live close to Disney World, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty
Are
cool.
you walking distance too?
No, walking distance would be like 30 minutes or more. It's just hard because of just how like the road works, the construction, because you have to take the highway to get to Disney World.
Oh, okay, that's what I was gonna say too. I was like, is it like 10 minutes freeway or 10 minutes city?
Because we don't have like small roads to get there. So if you was to walk to work, you would look suspicious. You see a guy just walking on the highway, crossing the bushes.
That's illegal. So out of 10, what would you give yourself?
I'm probably like a 5 or a 4, depending on my good days.
Oh,
Oh, whoa.
that's low.
Oh, Jay, calm down, Jay.
I get myself bad because of just the texting and driving, because I know I do it a lot.
Do you use your turn signal?
I do.
You do
Okay,
not? Or
okay.
you
I do. No, I do use. I do.
Oh,
And
I was saying.
Nancy's plus then you're 6 then. You're 6'7".
Yeah. When you text and drive, wait, how long do you keep your eyes off the road, or do you feel like your fingers can locate the letters now?
I don't look down when I text. My finger just knows where the letters
Oh,
are.
you're pretty professional. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
because he's done it so much.
Yeah, see, I've done it so much that I know I don't need to look down. And
All I gotta say is, on like phones, they have that pretty cool thing. It's a neat feature called like they have the microphone on the keyboard,
Mhm.
Oh,
and you can
I
just
know you're
speak to
being
it.
sarcastic.
This is
or
speech
like-
You don't need to
text.
look at it. You can just say what you gotta say.
Yeah, speech to
because that's what
text.
Tony does.
That's so true. When you get like I'm not saying anything, but when you like the newer cars nowadays, they all have like touch screens and everything. And so like my car just literally, it will just be, oh, somebody text you, and I'll click on it, and it'll just read me the text, and they'll be like, "Do you want to say something back?" And then I'll just say it back, and then it'll
Your
like read.
car does that?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
all cars. all
Newer
the new
cars do
all
that. The
newer
old cars
have
don't
it.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like,
Oh.
but I mean, on your phone there is that cool microphone function too, on the keyboard. Just so you guys.
Tony's just showing off that he has a new car. Okay.
It's not even new. It's old. Man, 5
Tony?
and 7. Jeez. I would say I'm the best driver on the road. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay,
I think I
well,
drive
okay.
fairly safe.
Were y'all? Hey, if you guys were following Tony to camp, well, actually, it wasn't bad. He was just going fast on the curvy roads, and we were just like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah, on that part I just wanted to lose you guys. I was like, hey, let's just lose each other here. Let's just see
Oh,
what happens.
wow.
And the funny thing was we kept driving there, and I was just like, hold on, how come the drive is so long on the white? I did not remember the winding road being that
Oh,
long
God.
though. And I was like, oh man, we got lost. I almost stopped at the side,
Oh,
but then I kept going a little bit. I was like, oh, there's Quinonia. But yeah, no, I would say I'm a pretty strong driver. I mean, I used to deliver as a full-time job too, at my younger days. So I feel like driving alone, I have a lot of experience. The funny thing is, I used to not be a road rager, but as soon as I moved up here into Sacramento, I don't know if it's just the city alone, but Sacramento is I believe the city is known for being like having the worst drivers in the world. Like we're like
Ew.
top 3 or something like that. We have so many red light runners and just people who like merge onto lanes without looking. It is
oh my
like,
gosh.
exceptionally hard to drive without road raging here, and I think I developed it being here. It's funny too because when I travel, I don't have road rage. Like if I'm going back to Stockton or if I'm just traveling like to LA or something, I'm not gonna rage at traffic. But as soon as I get back in Sacramento, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna be stupid. He's about to cut, and then oh look, it is. But yeah, I do switch over to the right very early though. Like if I'm like about to exit, if my exit's coming up, I'm usually on the right lane already, like 2 exits ahead.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, I try not to
What
miss
if
it.
the car is going like 55 or 50? You're still on the right lane?
Yeah, and I'll just be like, oh, I made a mistake, but oh well.
Yeah.
I would rate myself pretty strong though. I would say I'm probably a 9. If I didn't rage at all, I would give myself a 10. But I feel like just because I rage, and it's that part of complaining too, that I'll be like, oh no, it's not good.
Adam's over here like, yeah, I'm a 10.
Well, can't confirm that Tony's a safe driver. I've been in this car multiple times, so.
Whoa.
You know the funny thing? There's this one time we were coming back from camp, right? And then it was me and Sally in the car. I was hella tired. I was like, hey, Sally, I'm tired. Do you think you can drive? And Sally goes, no, I'm tired too.
So let's
like,
just
oh,
drive together.
Yeah. I was like, all right, we got to pull over because I'm about to die. So we had to stop at a gas station and walk around for a bit, buy something, get a little snack, and come back and make the rest of the trip home. But that was funny, man.
Damn, he ain't about to die.
See, that's the thing about like driving, like your driving skill. Are you able to like trust yourself and other people's car and sleep while they drive?
Yeah, I think if people are able to sleep in your car, you're a pretty safe driver.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, because I could fall asleep in any car. So
You're just too trusting. That's the issue.
The car's in the water and Nancy's still sleeping.
sometimes I'm afraid I'm
water
gonna wake
man.
up because of that. Oh gosh.
All right, Christy, your review.
I don't know. I think I would give myself like a 7 or 8. I think I'm generally like typically a safe driver too. Like here, the speed limit is just like slower than in Cali. And when I came to Cali, I was like, dang.
Yeah,
But
when I was
still-
in Minnesota, all of you guys drive the speed limit.
Yeah, we do.
Ew.
I feel like it's a bad thing.
It is a bad
twice the speed limit. Yeah, and I think with us having snow and ice and all that too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm generally like pretty cautious about everything. And when I came to Cali, I'm like, dang, like these drivers are crazy. And yet like I still try to drive as safe as possible. So I don't know, like my kids make it out alive, so
That's all that counts.
Yeah, Christy's
Oh,
a
yeah,
safe
that's-
driver. I remember.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I remember we followed her to Fresno one time, and Jen was in the car with them, and like we were going 70, and then I was all like, "Okay, she's going pretty
I
slow,
mean,
but
Jen
she's
fell
going
asleep in the
safe."
car, so
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
That's the answer.
So
No.
yeah,
I was about to say that Christy's gotten lost on her way to camp. She found and made her own way there, so she's got to be a strong driver, man.
Gosh.
That's a strong driver.
I think like I've had like a lot of experience with like different cars too. I just haven't driven manual yet, but like with like a pickup truck, van, and all that. So I think
Ooh.
I've like
Ooh, that's
gotten used to like different kinds of cars, but yeah, I mean I'm not the best, but I'm a safe driver.
Hey, never mind, man. I changed my answer. I think I'm like a 7 now. I only drive sedans, all right? I haven't done. I've done SUV, I've done truck, but not enough experience.
you drove Peter's truck before, right, Tony?
Yeah, but I think that's like one time. I don't think that counts.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That ends today's show.
Hey, yeah. What about you?
Okay. So I lack confidence in my driving. Okay, guys. I think I'm a terrible driver. I give myself maybe, I don't know. I thought 4 or 5 was bad, but Jay said 4 or 5, so I think I'm a 1 or 2. I feel like I lack like a sense of direction. I'm always asking Nancy like, "Oh shoot, where do we go?" Or, and I lived here all my life. I'm not confident in my driving. I'm not. Yeah, I just feel like I'm a new
sure.
driver. Like you can ask Nancy. Like I don't know. I think it's just. I think
You know,
it's my
you say
family.
that, dude. You say, okay. Here's the thing about you say that, but there was one time when we were on Fresno, Christy. Yeah, it was the same time that Christy and then they were here too, and like we followed you. You were going heck of fast on the freeway, and I was like,
But that's the thing too. Like I'm careless. I don't think about like the speed limit. I feel like I'm too safe, but then there are moments where I'm too safe where I'm slow. And then there are moments where I don't think about like the speed limit, and I've gotten a ticket for speeding, and I saw this little pretty blue and red lights, and I got scared. I was like, no, what do I do? Yeah,
I was
She
like,
went
this is.
faster.
I was like, literally, this is her driving, and like she says she doesn't drive on the freeway. She freaking drives heck of fast.
dude, you don't even know. Nancy was telling me where to go.
And if you want to know why she was driving fast on the freeway, she wanted to get off the freeway.
Yeah, I wanted to go to my next, like, I wanted to exit.
I gotta exit.
No,
It's
but
funny because
Mhm.
sometimes I'll be like, I'm just gonna let you figure it out, and we'll see where we end up. Because I don't always want to like tell her, and then so we almost missed an exit because I was like, I'm gonna let her do her thing, and I was like, no, you're gonna turn right now. Yeah, I think I trust Mindza on like small roads. She's not bad on the freeway. I think it's just knowing where to go on the freeway. And surprisingly, she actually drives pretty fast. Like when I follow her, I'm having to hit the gas.
Yeah, we had to do that. So.
Guys, I'm not doing 90s and 100s. I'm like doing 75s and 80s. Okay? No, but yeah, no, I would rate myself a 2.5. Because I'm too safe sometimes where it's just like, okay, I get pulled over because I'm slow. Or
I feel like I give
things
you
like
a
that.
solid 5.
A 5? Wow. Thanks, my friend.
A 5 out of 20. I'm kidding.
2.5. That's a 2.5.
That's
I'm
the same
kidding.
thing. Yeah. But yeah, that ends today's podcast. I just, I hope you guys enjoyed that. These are just random questions that we never really think about, or we always think about, and we never were asked to discuss these things. Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Tony, for joining us.
It was,
It
Thank you,
was nice
Tony.
to have
it
you.
was a pleasure. It was fun, guys.
Yeah, we haven't talked to each other just like with everyone. It's been so long, so it's nice to hear a new voice, not see a new voice, but hear a new voice. Yeah.
You mean hear a familiar voice? Not just
Oh
kidding.
yeah. All right, thank you guys, and thank you guys for listening to Break the Bread, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.